Well, for more insights into the Disney brand, I'm joined live via Skype by Josh Enomoto. He's a contributor for InvestorPlace Media. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you. It's great to be with you again.
So over the last several months, we've seen Disney, NBC Universal, Warner Media, and Viacom CBS restructuring their teams to make streaming a primary focus. Now, that has meant that longtime executives have been fired, others have stepped down. So how is that strategy working out based on the results you're seeing?
So this is really a matter of necessity. So back in 2009, every American contributed $34 to total domestic box office sales for that year. Now, fast forward 10 years later, and it's still the same number. Every American is contributing $34. And that tells you that on a per capita basis, the movie industry really isn't going anywhere. And when you adjust for inflation, it's actually Hollywood's going backwards. And when you consider also what's been happening with the pandemic, you're seeing a mass exodus from people moving out of very expensive traditional TV subscriptions to the cheaper streaming services. So really, if media companies don't embrace streaming, they're really dead in the water.
Now, obviously, when you think Disney, you think theme parks, but those have taken a huge financial hit since the pandemic began, which also cost a lot of employees their jobs. Can their streaming revenue come close to compensating for that loss?
So in the near term, the simple answer is no. Disney Plus, that falls under the direct-to-consumer operating segment, and in fiscal 2019, that only represented about 13% of total revenue, whereas the theme parks, the resorts, the high-contact physical businesses, that represented nearly 37%. So right now, the math just doesn't work out. Now, in the longer term, that could be a different story. And one of the biggest factors here is Disney's The Mandalorian. Now, what's interesting is that 50% of the scenes that were filmed for The Mandalorian utilize an advanced LED projection system. And this allows actors to visualize the environment around them through real-time image rendering. Of course, that's great for the actors, but it's an even bigger benefit for the logistics department because now Disney doesn't have to spend so much time and resources trying to film in real-world locations. They could essentially be insulated in their studio cocoon and be insulated really from outside disruptions such as rising coronavirus cases.
Now, it's interesting. You mentioned The Mandalorian, but we actually saw that the biggest spike in Disney Plus in subscribers was from adding Hamilton, not any of its Star Wars or Marvel-related content. So what are the biggest selling points for consumers who aren't interested in those particular franchises?
Well, it really comes down to for Disney specifically. I believe that that the company could distinguish itself from what I would term holistic diversity. You see, with American media companies, they really have a really cynical approach to diversity, and invariably the discussion gets funneled down almost exclusively into a black-white paradigm. And really, here's the thing. Most of the world falls outside of that black-white construct. And what Disney is really doing, in addition to some of the high-profile franchises, is that they're reaching out and giving a platform to voices that and stories that we really don't hear much about. And you already see that. You already see that initiative currently. But 10, 20, 30 years down the line, that could be a very profitable venture for Disney.
Now, obviously, just 1 year in, Disney Plus is already a success story, outpacing all other streaming services apart from Netflix and Amazon Prime Video. So looking ahead, what's next when it comes to Disney's streaming strategy?
Well, here's an interesting point. So Disney Plus, they already have one of the highest consumer retention rates, even though the volume of their original content is nowhere near what you see from the competition. And that really tells you that Disney is sitting on a gold mine, because really people are buying Disney Plus to watch The Mandalorian. So there is tremendous demand actually for those flagship franchises such as Star Wars, such as the Marvel Comics universe. So I believe that part of the strategy moving forward will be to create compelling, engaging content based off of those flagship franchises.
And just quickly, we have about 10 seconds here. What would you say would be Disney's biggest challenge in creating stiffer competition?
The biggest challenge is to create more gritty content, I would say. Netflix is really tremendous in terms of creating that gritty content that attracts adults. So, again, Mandalorian was one of the first series based on the Star Wars that showed actual blood and gore. And if we saw a little bit more of content that's geared towards that adult market, that could really help out in terms of competitiveness.